Hello friends, this is Normal here for Technique, and in this video we're gonna do the detailed camera review of the Samsung Galaxy J7 Pro. So J7 Pro is the latest device under the J series, and this is one of the really good J series phone. We already done a video on the reasons why you should be buying the the J7 Pro. Now let's talk about the camera of this device. So this phone comes with a 13 megapixel rear camera. It has f-stop 1.7 aperture and LED flash and autofocus included. And on the front camera we have another 13 megapixel shooter. This is an f-stop 1.9 aperture, and here again we have an LED flash for low light selfies. So that is the camera aspect of the Samsung Galaxy J7 Pro, and camera optics wise this is exactly the same camera what we have seen on the Samsung J7 Max, which we reviewed recently. So J7 Max did come with a good camera in this price segment. So how does the Samsung Galaxy J7 Pro camera performs in this segment? Let's find out in this detailed review. So let's first have a look at the camera interface. So opening up, you can see the camera interface is quite similar to what we have seen on other Samsung phones. If you swipe from the left side, we have this auto mode, pro mode. In the pro mode, we have this option to tweak the white balance, ISO, and the exposure values. And in the panorama, there is a continuous shot, rich tone HDR is there, night mode is included, sound and shot. And if you swipe from the right side, we have this option of different filters included. So that's the options. And we also have full HD video recording in the camera. So this is the camera 4:3 aspect ratio at 13 megapixel. It can go to 16:9 and 1:1 as well. And front camera again is a 13 megapixel shooter. Video recording is at full HD on both the cameras. So that is the camera interface. Now you also have a social camera available here. So if you just click the small icon here, it opens the social camera, and what it does is it provides you option with either 4:3 aspect ratio or 1:1 aspect ratio for portrait photography. And you also have this option for Insta share. That's you can share to Facebook, WhatsApp and Messenger instantly. So that's the Insta share option. Along with that, you also have this beauty mode included. Now let's go back to the normal camera mode, and we have option to record videos, take pictures, and also view the camera samples taken. So that's the camera interface. Now let's go straight into the camera samples which we have taken with the Samsung Galaxy J7 Pro. So here are the shots taken in daylight conditions outdoor, and you could see that the clarity of the photos looks quite decent. The colors are not really punchy, but it's quite acceptable levels. It's not washed out, but definitely quite decent colors overall. And the sharpness levels was again acceptable. At times you could see that it does a bit of over sharpening of the images, and that's not really a great aspect, but still the photos turned out to be quite decent in this price segment. Having a look at the close-up images taken with this device in daylight conditions, you could say that close-up images perform slightly better than the regular daylight shots when it comes to color reproduction. And again you could see the focusing was a bit of an issue. It is a hit or miss affair, because whenever you tap to focus, the focusing is not really as fast as you would like to have. This just comes with the normal autofocus. There's no face detection autofocus, so it's a slow affair with focusing on the J7 Pro, but it does quite a decent job. And at times you end up taking blurry images because the focusing goes off when you tap to focus, and that's a kind of issue on this device. And also the close-up images, the sharpness levels was slightly on the lower side when compared to the J7 Max. So that was the daylight captures. Now let's have a look at the low light images taken with this device. So here again you could see the low light images was quite satisfactory experience. The noise levels were not too high, but it definitely did have some noise. But with adequate lighting, it could take some decent captures in the low light conditions, and definitely not a phone which would disappoint in the low light experience. But then it's not a class leading performer, and we would say it doesn't really beat the Asus Zenfone 3 in this segment, because the Asus Zenfone 3 has an optical image stabilization OIS is included, so it does provide a better a better low light captures, and also the color quality was slightly better on the Asus Zenfone 3. So in terms of the overall clarity of the photos in daylight as well as the low light experience, we would say it's quite a decent camera. It definitely is not the best camera out there. We are expecting Samsung to do a bit of fixing of some of the issues like over-sharpening of the images, the focusing issue. This could be fixed in upcoming updates. That's possible. But as of now, this definitely is a quite decent camera overall. It won't disappoint, but it definitely is not the best out there in this price segment. Now let's talk about the video recording. So this one comes with 1080p recording, and here is the video recording sample. The autofocusing works quite well. Again, it's a slow affair. So when you try to focus close-up objects in the video, it does take a bit of time focusing, but still it is definitely quite a decent video recording 1080p sample out there in this price segment. Now let's have a look at the selfie camera. So the selfie camera is definitely one of the good aspects of this phone. It definitely can take some good selfies in bright sunlight. The HDR in the selfies also turned out to be quite good. So definitely it's a good selfie camera in this price segment, and it also comes with an LED flash for the selfie camera, so you can take some low light selfies. But then low light selfies turned out to be slightly noisy affair. Still it is quite decent selfie camera in this price segment. So we are recording this video using the front facing camera on the Samsung Galaxy J7 Pro, and we are recording it outdoors, so you can see how much the clarity is and also the sound quality of the front facing camera. It has 1080p recording, that's a full HD recording is included, and it's a 13 megapixel shooter. It also comes with a selfie flash, so that should be good enough to take selfies in low light conditions. And the aperture is 1.9, so f-stop 1.9 should also be good enough for taking good selfies in low light conditions. So you can have a look at the sample and judge yourself how good the camera sample is using the front facing camera on the J7 Pro. So now we have talked about the detailed camera aspect of the Samsung Galaxy J7 Pro. So J7 Pro definitely is a decent camera overall in this price segment, but if you're looking for the best camera device in this price segment, that's a 20k price segment, we would suggest you to look for Asus Zenfone 3 or even the Moto G5. Even the J7 Max did come with slightly better camera overall. The J7 Max had an Exynos, MediaTek chipset, but here we have an Exynos chipset. So that's the only difference between these two devices. And we feel that the J7 Max did come with slightly better camera in this price segment. So that was the camera review of the Samsung Galaxy J7 Pro. It's quite a decent camera overall. It won't disappoint, but not for people who are looking for the best camera out there. So that's all guys. Thanks for watching this video, and if you plan to buy this device, we'll share the links in the description of this video. You can use our links and buy this device, and that helps our channel. So thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.